Friday, and it was so cold here in Albuquerque. Yesterday, the wind was blowing, and the temperature had to be 55, so pretty nice for a winter day. However, the problem with that is, oh, look at this. They've got us going on little messages right in the middle of your Facebook Live. Sorry. Anyway, the weather was really great, but it was really cold, and I had nothing but time in which to think. And I did. I thought a lot about what was I going to talk about today. And I was in such a miserable mood. Have you ever been that miserable or that cranky that it doesn't matter what you say, you're just done, and you just want to be shut up in a room somewhere with a good book and a roaring fireplace? Yeah, that was my day yesterday. And I noticed, there are people walking around and they seem to be happy and happy, happy, happy. Well, we all know that we have our times and our situations in which we're out there uh, having a good day while other people are having a bad day. But have you ever noticed there's those people? They just seem, life just seems to flow even they have a little bit of an up and a little bit of a down. But for the most part, everything is just moving smoothly for them. I thought about this and I thought, we're not using karma correctly. Because if it was used correctly, then all of us would have these smooth, even kills. And readily, I'll admit, there are people that just incarnated to have this stabilized world. And those people are fantastic because they hold the energy for all of us. And nothing really bad, nothing really sad happens. Yes, life moves on. Their parents lived to 90 and they die in their sleep, natural causes. They don't have a lot of health issues or mental health issues in their family. Everything just seems to go smooth. Everybody in their family marries and they stay married for a lifetime. And then there's the rest of us. Well, why is that? What is it that we're creating? So we've talked a lot about having these times that we've created. And we've talked a lot about how those times really look for us. But there's just those people that really go through and it really is hard to get through their day because one catastrophe after another. It seems like if you read their astrology chart, they were destined to have this intense life. And they did. And we go through that dark night of the soul, which really makes us go way down deep into the very core of who we are and ask ourselves, who are we? What are we here for? And I hear so many times people are bantering, oh, karma, that'll get them. Karma is going to pay you back. It doesn't. It pays us back. It's our tool. And we forget this. We forget that it's our tool, not a payback to somebody else. That's Deuteronomy's eye for an eye. But it's our opportunity for us to create a better world because we have the power. As metaphysicians, we're the ones that we incarnated to create a difference in this world. So it's kind of like baptism by fire. You go in and you struggle to get out of the victimhood, to get out of that victim mentality. Because too many people are mindset into somebody done me wrong song and they need to be paid back. Well, holy cow. I mean, let's look at this realistically. What if you actually got paid back for everything you ever did to somebody? When you knew it was wrong when you did it. I mean, you knew it was wrong. I'll give you an example. Hi, Rosie. Here's the example. You're dating somebody, and you think this is the lifelong man of your dreams or woman of your dreams, and you find that things just don't fit. And so they kind of are off seeing somebody else, kind of replacing you before you're done with them. before it's dawned on you, you guys aren't a good fit, and so you want payback for that person. But they're dating somebody, they're happy with that person, and that person marries them, and you're left holding the bag, going, why am I so miserable? It's because we didn't give it up. We don't give up our time. We're not being our true selves. We're not being in our integrity. We're waiting for the payback. And the payback doesn't always happen in the way we want it to. What if every time you did something bad to somebody, something good happened to you? Well, that would create that cause and effect of, well, I'll just keep doing really crappy things to somebody. Because, what the hell, why not? And the fact of the matter is that we go in and we have that time that we're really struggling in what it is that we're supposed to be doing. And we're trying to do the good thing because we're thinking that good's going to come from it. And that's not how it works either. Because you don't get paid back with good unless your intention is good. I'm going to repeat that, your intention. It's not about what you want to have happen, it's what your intention is. So if your intention is to bring healing to the world, then you receive healing because your intention is pure and divine, and it builds your light. It builds your light body and it builds your light energy. If your intention is to give a reading to somebody and make that reading really powerful and to be the best answer for them and the solutions that they need. Hi, Dana. If we understood that we are supposed to be those light, powerful workers, then we would deliberately grow our light in which we create light all around us and for other people. And that's how karma is supposed to be used. We reap what we sow. So by building our power, by building our integrity, by building our authenticity, we go out into the world and we spread that. But we have to own that for ourselves first. And it's not as easy as it sounds because, life gets in the way. Bad things happen to good people and great things happen to great people, and bad things happen to bad people and great things happen to bad people. Because there is no right and wrong. It's an amoral universe. This is not saying it's immoral. It's an amoral universe. There is no right or wrong. There's just your ability to grow into the perfected being that you are, and to really take on that whole dynamic of what karma is. So if you're one of those people that says, oh, karma will bite them in the ass, okay, but it will bite you too, because that's the energy you're holding. That's the energy you're expressing. So going in and thinking, I deserve to make $1 million a year. Absolutely you do. You deserve to have $5 million a year. Everybody does. And why is it that we have such a high to low capital income level? It's because people haven't figured out that they are worth $1 million, $5 million. They're worth abundance. And that everything that we do, it comes from the light that we carry. Once we step out of that third dimension in which we're paying somebody back, it's really hard because I watch this all the time, people sabotaging their own self. They want what they want politically. Okay, then create it, because your light creates abundance for everybody. So in politics, people are going, well, this person is going to get me more money at the end of the year. Okay. How about you get yourself more money at the end of the year by knowing that you're worth more money right now, by giving that power over to share and be in harmony with it instead of trying to use it to control other people. We're not here to worry about everybody else because our light grows. It goes something like the ladder, okay, the walk up the hill. There's somebody above you leading the way, and you're leading the way for somebody behind you. So when we're in that stretch of being, we are having that time that we're really struggling and making it worth our effort to be a part of the power in which we give to other people. So I can't teach people what they don't know. I can wake you up to it. But you know what I found? If it's not dealing with the psychic, if it's not dealing with the healing gifts, people don't want to know it because the rest of it's really hard. They want to be magical and mystical. Okay, but we are very magical and we are very mystical beings. But there are the beliefs that we have to do away with, the vibration we hold in anger and pain and suffering. And it's hard to let that go. So how do we do that? By learning, by understanding that this is not the only moment, this is another moment. And now this is another moment. And this is another moment. And each moment that you're in is a whole new moment. And that moment goes outward to each one of your lives, whether, and because they happen simultaneously, they're not happening in the past and they're not happening in the future. It's our, again, 3D concept of linear time. It's happening now. So as you bring your light in, you're changing the lives of what's happened all around you. Is it hard to do? Absolutely, because you have to let go of these belief structures that we were given as children. And the reason that we were given those, we're at the tail end of the Piscean age. I was just talking to Rosie about this today. We're at the tail end of this Piscean age. And we were laughing because neither one of us can handle the whole religious construct because we had horrible experiences with religion. And we're not really into the thunderbolt throwing God sitting on a throne going to punish us. And that's probably because we're understanding that it's time for us to move on. It's time for us to quit the petty payback. That stuff, leave it for the people that want to be on Facebook, that want to be in social media, that want to yell and scream at each other, that don't want to come in and do their work. They want somebody else to make it different for them. They don't want to go to the office. They want to sit at home and be miserable. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. They want to fight about whether there's a pandemic or not a pandemic. Let that go. It does not help you stay in your integrity. It does not help you with who you are as a spiritual being. And it doesn't matter what happened in another relationship. If you're still talking about it, because believe me, I have one of those relationships I'm still irritated with. It's because something in me hasn't been able to be healed. And it's not anybody else's job but mine to find that healing space. And what I have to do is really kind of bless that relationship and say thank you. Thank you for being the jerk you were. Because he really wasn't a jerk. I mean, when we were together, everything was fantastic. But he would get bored. We lived in 2 different cities, and he would get bored, and so he entertained himself. Okay, you know what? It just was different than mine. So I shouldn't be angry about it, and I shouldn't be obligated to think that there's a payback coming for him. I will tell you that there was somebody who told me about green fungus. And every time they were mad at somebody, they would send green fungus to them. Why would you do that? Because that's not walking in light. You want to, because sometimes that hurt is raw, but the hurt is more of ourselves. So when we own the power, we have to own our accountability, and karma is our tool for doing so. It's not, like I said, it's not Deuteronomy, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. It is the golden rule. It is understanding that you will experience that which brought you to the point that you have the experience. And you can keep creating in the negative. Perfectly okay. But if you want to move through to the positive light, then you start creating in the positive light. You start recognizing that you are the power and that you have such a way of peace, light, and love, and that you're entitled to the abundance. You don't have to struggle for it. If you've been struggling, it's because you self-imposed that struggle. So think about it. Think about where your light needs to go from there. Think about how that looks to you. And work on creating the perfected life that you would like to see. We have to change our look, our being, and our attitude to create the abundance that we so richly deserve. My heart to all of yours. I hope you have a wonderful day. Oh, and this also goes for your gifts of spirit, too. If you want to be the best and the best, then provide the best. Know that you are the best, and you'll give out nothing but the best. My heart to yours. Mwah. I love all of you. Bye now.